Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to slice the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, with a random stranger accusing Fran of lying, Fran can't help but be offended, all whilst our MC notes that he wasn't able to sense the strange man approaching until he spoke. Spraying some perfume, the man mentions how he dislikes speaking to commoners, revealing himself as the lieutenant of the knights that protect the town of Alessa, August Alzand. Realizing that August was the one that Nell despises, as he personally does not like to help commoners. It's revealed that August has a unique skill, able to tell when someone is lying, and August accuses Fran of lying. With the guild master believing August's lie, our MC notes something fishy, scanning August's stats. Noting that August has low physical stats, our MC sees that August has the skill, Essence of Falsehood. This skill states that it makes others believe the wielder's lies, meaning that August can accuse someone else, and the skill will make his lies more believable. Turning to the guildmaster, August demands that they hand her over, letting him deal with her. But the guildmaster denies this, stating that she is more powerful than most of the knights in this town. Backing off, August tries to get the guildmaster to forfeit the demon's drops, but the guildmaster fires back, stating that August will not receive any compensation, as he refused to assist with the dungeon raid. Trying to blame the guildmaster for his reason for not assisting in the raid, the guildmaster retaliates, accusing August of being the sole member to deny helping out with the raid, which August is forced to deny. As August and the guildmaster threaten each other with politics, Fran suddenly gets an idea, gifting August with a present from the dungeon. Seeing Fran's gift as nothing more than an insult, August throws away Fran's gift, which makes her consider killing August on the spot. But our MC calms her down, realizing that since August is a trash human being, they should use their new skill to steal, on this test subject. With both activating the skill at the same time, they both steal August's lying skill, along with a noble etiquette skill. Putting the skills to use immediately, Fran makes up a lie, which is blatantly false, but August struggles to respond, even fleeing before Fran's stolen skill can intimidate him further. As Nell makes her way into the conversation, the guildmaster apologizes for August's behavior, as he's the child of the noble that oversees the town, and that August's stats are purely from him forcing skilled adventurers to party and fight strong creatures, all whilst he stands idly by. Warning Fran to be careful of people like August, the guildmaster asks Nell if preparations for Fran are ready, which Nell confirms. Believing that this is for her ranking up, the guildmaster surprises Fran with a rank of D, apologizing for not getting her to rank C, as the officials didn't want someone ranking up so fast. Heading to the reception desk, loads of adventurers congratulate Fran, as she ranks up to D, and receives her pay for conquering the dungeon. Officially introducing himself, the dwarf reveals his name as 11th, as other adventurers swarm and thank Fran for protecting them, asking about her feats in the dungeon. Not used to so many people praising her, our MC instructs Fran to buy everyone drinks, for fighting alongside Fran, as a cleanup crew during the dungeon raid. That night, whilst Fran is sleeping, our MC thinks about how if it weren't for Fran wanting to kill the demon would have wiped out this town, stating that he is proud of how much Fran had grown. The next day, the two head into the forest, setting up camp near a lake. Having acquired various ingredients and cooking utensils, our MC plans to fulfill his promise and make Fran curry. But first, our MC must prepare some extra meals in case they ever need to eat on an adventure. Simultaneously, our MC begins combining ingredients, instructing Fran on her duties, as they both chef up some beef patties. Before they get cold, our MC stores it in his dimension pocket, as time stops in the pocket, and the food will remain good to eat. Now for the main course, our MC and Fran work together dicing up vegetables, and tossing them along with spices into a pot, allowing the concoction to become curry. Having prepared some rice, Fran tries out the curry with rice, instantly freezing up, before exploding out of pure happiness. As they wrap up the meal, they head back to town, as the two spend the next week, taking on mediocre adventures, whilst they wait for Garrus to repair their gear. These quests consisted of tracking down valuable potatoes, acquiring rare meats for a noble, and slaying a creature to acquire more crystal cores. During their breaks, our MC would give Fran more curry, each time adding different spices and ingredients, along with changing the spiciness, asking for Fran's favorite combination. With constant trips, in and out of town, Fran naturally became friends with the gate guard, and one evening, the guard pulled Fran aside, telling her about a rumor he heard. Apparently, August has been looking for her, as ever since their meeting, August had caused trouble for his father and other nobles, and is blaming Fran for the issue. As they part ways, the guard tells Fran to be careful. As night falls, Fran makes her way through town, as she wonders if her stealing August's skills may have been the reason for him causing issues elsewhere. Suddenly, our MC senses that someone is following them, ordering Fran to not turn around, and instead to lead them to somewhere secluded. Ascending several stairs, our MC is able to confirm there are 2 stalkers. Right as they reach the top of the stairs, August appears, having climbed up the side, confronting Fran. Immediately noting his disgusting distorted appearance, our duo wonder if August is possessed, but our MC confirms that he is the same. Continuously itching himself, August blames Fran for the reason he's being hunted by other nobles, but Fran denies this, as August continues to blame her. Insulting Fran's race, August is able to get Fran's attention, continuously taunting her, only to call for Guron. Suddenly a mysterious person appears, exuding confidence, as he wonders what he will do with Fran. It's revealed that Guron is a blue cat, making him a mortal enemy of all black cats, including Fran. Angrily unsheathing our MC notes how he's never seen Fran this angry before, learning that the blue cats had betrayed her black cat's race. It was because of this betrayal that black cats are commonly captured and sold as slaves. Smirking, Guron scans Fran's stats, able to see that she's level 25. Apparently, Guron is considered a hero, making him quite powerful. Asking if Fran is afraid, Guron nonchalantly walks towards Fran, as Fran helplessly freezes up. Whispering into her ears, Guron announces that he knows Fran is scared, since the fear of blue cats are innately built into black cats, as blue cats are trained to hunt down black cats. Suddenly, Guron brings his blade down on Fran, forcing our MC to wake Fran up, barely blocking the strike. Our MC scans Guron's blade, realizing that the sword is far superior than the sword the demon they defeated had. Remembering a memory, Fran states that when she was traveling with her parents, they were betrayed by blue cats. Taking this chance, Guron knees Fran, knocking her right into a wall, where she helplessly lays there. Approaching slowly, Guron recounts a time when he had hunted down some black cats, purposely killing a little girl himself. Describing how he had mutilated and tortured the little black cat, Fran freezes up once again, allowing Guron to grab a hold of her, as he recounts the joy from watching others suffer. As Guron grinds his feet into Fran's skull, she begins to despair, reminded of how her slave owner treated her. But our MC speaks up, reminding her that everything is now in the past. What matters now is that she is an adventurer now, and our MC will never let anything harm her moving forward. With our MC by her side, she easily stands up, forcing Guron to berate her, as he swings his blade down. Easily fending off the swing, Fran questions Guron on how many black cats he had slayed, which prompts Guron to smile, taunting her as he states that he's slayed more than 10. Now with no remorse, Fran disappears, having cut of Guron's sword-wielding hand, only to take Guron's sword for herself. Storing away the stolen blade, Fran uses our MC to cut off one of Guron's legs. One limb at a time, Fran dismantles Guron, all whilst Guron wonders how Fran is stronger, even though he has a higher level. Before Fran is able to deal the finishing blow, our MC asks for Fran to allow him to do it, as he doesn't want Fran to have to take another's life. But hearing Fran's mature response, our MC allows Fran to continue, making her promise to only use him if she ever wants to kill another living thing. Storing away Guron's corpse, Fran wonders if they should kill August, but suddenly a blue blob appears, which belongs to the Guildmaster. Guided to the Guildmaster, Fran wonders what the blue blob is, which infuriates the Guildmaster, stating that they are fairies, quite prestigious beings. Catching himself before he goes too far, the Guildmaster asks that Fran refrain from killing August, as the Adventurers Guild had been secretly hunting him down, at the request of his father. Additionally, August will be locked up for offending other nobles, and that this matter should be kept a secret. In exchange, the guild will personally pay Fran a reward for finding August herself. Heading out to collect her reward, Fran suddenly bumps into a voluptuous lady, who suddenly jumps onto Fran, pulling Fran into her breast, as she calls Fran her daughter. Shocked at first, our MC realizes that Fran's mother has passed away, and that this lady isn't even a black cat. Refusing to let Fran escape, due to Fran's cuteness, our MC wonders why Fran doesn't just escape, which Fran notes that the lady is really strong. Before the lady can kiss Fran, the guildmaster asks for her to stop, revealing her as Amanda. Introducing her, Amanda is an A-rank adventurer, and the strongest in the guild. As our MC scans her stats, he's stunned to see her overwhelming capabilities, being half-elf as well. Knowing Fran's name, Amanda states that rumors of Fran's great deeds have spread. Having returned from investigating something, Amanda chats with the guildmaster, as Fran leaves, but not before Amanda says they'll meet again. The next day, Fran continuously runs into Amanda, whilst doing simple quests, studying in the library, or even sleeping. Walking through town, Fran can't help but notice Amanda stalking her, rushing to Nell for some advice. But Nell reassures Fran that Amanda has no ill intentions, having opened her own orphanage, to take care of children less fortunate. As Fran feels drained from avoiding Amanda all day, Amanda suddenly appears beside Nell, asking about what they had been talking about. Seeing Amanda for the first time, other adventurers can't help but stare at her, as they gossip about the A-rank adventurer. Scaring them off, with a powerful glare, Amanda turns her attention back to Fran, offering Fran the option to call her mother, only to be rejected once again. Finally getting down to it, Amanda states that the guild master wants to see Fran, which allows Fran to leave. Entering the guild master's room, Fran is clearly annoyed, having been forced to speak to him multiple times now. Revealing a bag of rare crystals, the guild master says he's willing to give Fran 2 crystals if she investigates a spider's nest nearby. Demanding to be paid 10 crystals, the guild master and Fran negotiate back and forth, but when the guildmaster refuses to give Fran what she wants, Fran simply leaves, forcing the guildmaster to agree to 5 crystals. Asking to be paid up front, Fran also asks why she is being asked specifically for this quest, leading the guildmaster to reveal that people are accusing Fran of cheating her way into rank D, and that they believe the guildmaster is playing favorites. Knowing Fran completing a D-rank quest will silence the haters, Fran agrees, as the guildmaster adds that he'll help Fran enter a quest she had been looking for. Suddenly Amanda breaks down the door, having eavesdropped on their conversation. Demanding to join Fran, she makes up the excuse that there are too many men around Fran, and she will personally even out the numbers. With no choice, the guildmaster agrees. That night, Fran asks about the spider dungeon they'll be visiting, with our MC stating that the dungeon has already been cleared, so they will most likely not run into any powerful creatures. Changing topics, our MC brings out the 5 crystals, only to absorb them, as he gains skills belonging to the D-rank and C-rank creatures he's never heard of before. Having made it to the meeting point, Fran is embraced by Amanda, all whilst the other adventurers glare at Fran. Suddenly Cruz Rissell speaks up, announcing that the investigation into the spider's nest will act as a rank-up test for 2 separate C-rank parties. Cruz so happens to be the leader of one of them, the Azure Guardians, with a mage and bandit as his companions. Pointing to the other part, Cruz asks that they introduce themselves, prompting Crad, leader of Dragon's Roar, to introduce himself and his party of E-ranks. Next up, an elf, another group, and finally Amanda introduce themselves. While everyone stares at Amanda, they all wonder why an A-rank is joining such a low-tier quest. Finally Fran introduces herself, which catches the attention of Crad, happy to have finally found the girl that had been alleged of doing things with the guild master, in order to rank up so fast. Continuing to berate Fran with accusations, Crad accidentally insults Amanda, forcing Amanda to intervene, as she puts Crad to sleep. Waking up, Crad apologizes to Amanda, but demands that a little girl should run back to her family, only to learn that Fran's parents are dead. Breaking up the conversation, Cruz announces that Amanda will only be observing the exploration of the dungeon, stating that the dungeon is filled with crystals that they must collect. Additionally, they are to slay any monsters that cross their paths, but they must keep some alive, as the dungeon feeds off the creatures, or else the dungeon may disappear. Beginning their trek as a group together, our duo learn that dungeons without a core purposely create monsters and crystals in order to keep the dungeon alive, This means that adventurers can farm these crystals, just like what they are tasked with now. Along the way, Crad tries to start trouble with Fran, but Fran ignores him, as Amanda is forced to step in. Having fooled around all day, Cruz notes that they'll have to set up camp, as the sun is already setting. Gathering around the campfire, they learn of their order in which they must keep watch, with Amanda free from watch, as she's simply an observer. As Fran sits alone, Crad sneaks up on her, taunting her, as she wonders how Fran used connections to get to where she was. Following our MC's orders, she ignores Crad, but when he begins to mock her sword, Fran can't help but accept. As the other adventurers stand watch, Crad channels his dragon spirit, growing his overall power temporarily. Knowing that monsters could sneak up on them whilst they battle, our MC instructs Fran to put up 2 elemental barriers simultaneously, but this catches the attention of everyone. Not knowing what Fran had done, Crad readies his spear. He lunges at Fran, who easily evades and parries. Performing his ultimate technique, Fran manages to read the hidden strikes, catching Crad off guard, allowing her to cut off the tip of Crad's spear, as she kicks him to the ground. As punishment for insulting her teacher, she uses the handle of her sword to beat Crad to a pulp. With his party forced to intervene and drag Crad to safety, our MC states that this will show to the others, not to mess with Fran. Suddenly Amanda asks if she would like to spar, making up the excuse of being bored. Seeing this as a golden opportunity, Fran accepts, but states that if she wins, Amanda must stop following her. Seeing Fran's confidence, Amanda states that if she wins, Fran must call her mother. Before the duel begins, Amanda unveils her weapon, a whip made out of dragons, with the ability to change its gravity. The moment the duel starts, Amanda's whip disappears, barely scratching Fran on the cheek, before Fran manages to dodge. Able to move closer, with each dodge, Fran suddenly pulls her blade away from the whip, as Amanda praises her battle instincts. Our MC explains that Amanda had intended to wrap her whip around Fran's blade, and with her superior physical strength, would have stolen Fran's weapon. Picking up the pace, Amanda forces Fran further back, but Fran uses the terrain to rush Amanda, even dodging several sneak attacks from the whip. But before Fran can land a blow, Amanda uses the handle of the whip to easily fend off Fran, showing off her absolute defense, no matter the fighting distance. Stepping up the difficulty, Amanda channels mana into the whip, allowing her to have superior control of the whip, along with its speed and power. Forced to move further away from Amanda, Fran notes that she should put her all into the next strike, as she is beginning to fatigue. Casting wind magic to propulse herself towards Amanda, Fran splits her mind, simultaneously channeling a fire spell, as she continuously casts wind magic for movement. Even when she's struck at a vital point, Fran readies her blade to cut down Amanda, but unfortunately Amanda puts up a powerful wind barrier, blowing Fran away. Suddenly Amanda turns to Fran, realizing that Fran had finished casting her fire spell, whilst her mind was split. Landing cleanly on Amanda, Fran is blown back, as the others rush to check up on Amanda. Out of the flames, Amanda appears, unharmed, all whilst Fran collapses. Our MC scans Amanda, realizing that she had a unique skill that could block any one attack, once a day, but Amanda admits that Fran had surprised her. As the other adventurers put out the surround fire from Fran's spell, Amanda heals Fran, laying her on her lap, as our MC notes how far Fran has come. Still asleep, Fran sees her mother in her dreams, only to wake up to Amanda, taking her mother's place. Learning that she had been out for some time, Fran praises Amanda's overwhelming strength, as Amanda reciprocates the compliment. Just then Amanda reminds Fran of their agreement, which Fran wants to fulfill, but simply can't bring herself to acknowledge someone else as her mother. Seeing Fran struggle, Amanda pulls Fran in, apologizing for teasing her too much, and that it's okay if Fran refuses to call someone else her mother. Our MC notes that he checked to see if Amanda was lying several times, with his unique skill, but he can confirm that Amanda has yet to deceive Fran. The next day, Fran apologizes to Cruz and the others, for causing so much trouble, but Cruz reveals that the others after seeing Fran's fight had challenged Amanda themselves, with none of them lasting as long as Fran. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.